Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how to make the front panel of the pumpkin patch purse. This cute little purse is made of two panels, the front which has the baubles with the pumpkins, and then the back which is just a plain panel, and then it has the edging, the shell edging that joins them together. So the front panel can be a little confusing with all of the color changes and the different stitches. So I figured it would be helpful to have a video tutorial to walk through the steps of that. So that's what I'm going to show you here today. This pattern is similar to, based off of my Ananas Lovey. In that pattern, it uses yellow for the baubles to make them look like pineapples, but using orange for that Lovey would be a super cute modification to make it a little more fallish. So you can find that pattern for free on my blog, or there's also a PDF version that's available in my stores. So let's get started. In this purse I used Hobby Lobby I Love This cotton yarn. For tonight's purse I'm actually going to use just the regular acrylic I Love This yarn because I'm out of this cream color, but I do love cotton for these purses. I think it just holds up really well and it's really soft. It gets softer and softer over time. So here's a finished one, but let's get started with the acrylic. All right, so you're going to start in your main color. I have linen here, and we're going to use a 4mm hook. And the first thing we're going to do is make a chain of 24. So you'll make your slip knot, and then just chain 24. All right, so when you're finished, it will just look like this. Then we are going to go back across our chain, but this time we're going to single crochet back across. So we'll do 23 stitches back across. It's up to you if you want to crochet in the back bump or if you just want to crochet into the chain. I do like how the crocheting into the back bump gives it a clean edge, but I do think it requires a little bit more concentration. So for this video, I'm just going to go right back into the chain, but you can go into that back bump if you want to. So, all right, so we're going to do 23 single crochet stitches back across. All right, when you get to the end of that row, you're going to chain one, and then we'll turn to go back across. So it should look like this. We'll chain one, and then turn it over. And then we're going to do the exact same thing to go back across. So you'll have 23 stitches in this row. Again, for these first 2 rows, we've used single crochet stitches. So this pattern uses both single crochet and half double crochet stitches, but for the first 2 rows, it's single. So we'll chain 1 and turn. And then in row 3, we're going to add the pumpkins. So this is where we'll have to start doing the color change. So to start off, we're going to single crochet 5 stitches. On the 5th stitch, you're going to want to get ready to do your color change. So I'm going to insert my hook and I'm going to draw up a loop, but I'm not going to finish that stitch. I'm going to add my bobble color. So I'm using orange for pumpkins. I like to tie the new color onto the main yarn just for security. And then to finish this stitch, you're going to finish it with the orange. So yarn over and pull through both of those loops on the hook. So now you can see it has finished that 5th stitch, but you have your orange yarn ready to go for the bobble. My main color, I'm just going to carry behind. So then for the bobble is 5 double crochet stitches together. So yarn over, insert the hook, drop a loop, yarn over, and you're going to just pull through the first 2 loops on your hook. So then you'll be left with 2 loops. And then you're going to do that until you have 5 double crochet stitches. So again, I'll yarn over, insert my hook, drop a loop, and then I'm going to yarn over, and I'm only going to pull through the first 2 loops on the hook. So you can see that gives me 2 double crochet stitches in the same stitch. So here's 3, 4, and 5. And then my bobbles, in most of my patterns, I prefer for the bobble to be pushed towards me rather than away. So a lot of patterns, you will make the bobble on the wrong side and you'll push it out. But for most of my patterns, you'll make it on the right side and push it towards you. If you have trouble with this, then you can always turn it around. You can push it to the wrong side and then just have that be the front of your panel. But what I like to do is push it towards me. So you have 5 double crochet stitches on your hook now. And to finish this stitch, we're going to switch back to our main color yarn. So we're going to let the orange yarn hang. We're going to yarn over with the main color, pull through all 6 of those loops. And I just use my forefinger to push that bobble forwards. And then we have the main color at our hook to continue going with the next stitch. So now we'll do a single crochet into the stitch next to the bobble. So you can see that kind of pushes it forward. So if you use your forefinger and kind of cinch it, it'll push that bobble forward. All right, and then we have 1 single crochet. We need 5 single crochets in between the bobbles. So I'm going to do 4 more. Like I said, I like to just carry my orange yarn behind. It's up to you. You can cut the yarn and weave in the ends if you want to, but I just cut at the end of the row. So I've got 4 single crochet stitches here. And again, on this 5th stitch, I'm going to start the stitch in the main color, but I'm going to switch to my pumpkin color to finish that 5th single crochet stitch. And now we'll do the bobble again. All right, so we've got 5 double crochet stitches here. We're going to pull up that main color yarn and switch back to the main color to finish the stitch. Push that bobble forward and single crochet into the stitch next to it. And again, we need 5 single crochet stitches after the bobble. So there's 4. On this 5th one, I'll pick up the orange yarn and make the bobble. And then I will finish the bobble with that main color. All right, so to finish this row, we're just going to put 5 single crochet stitches in each stitch. 1 in each stitch, I guess. All right, so you'll get to the end of that row and you should have 3 bobbles with 5 single crochet stitches between them. So now, like I said, I carry my yarn, so I am gonna cut this now since it's the end of that row with the orange, and this is what mine looks like at the back. So I'll weave in these ends, but I do just let the yarn run across. You can hide it inside the stitches if you want to, but since this is the inside of the purse, I just let the carrying yarn run across the back. All right, so at the end of row 3, we're going to chain 1 and turn. And now we're going to work with half double crochet stitches, and we're going to add the green stems in this row. So we'll do 4 half double crochet stitches. So there's 3. And on the 4th one, just like with the pumpkin, I'm going to switch to my new color yarn as I finish this 4th stitch. So I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook, drop a loop, just like I typically would with a half double crochet stitch. But then I'm going to switch to green to finish it. So I'm going to tie my yarn on here. Okay, and then I will pick up this green yarn to finish that half double crochet stitch. It's a little hard to see because I have a lot of ends running through here, but you can see that I've got 4 half double crochet stitches, and now I have my green yarn on my hook so that I can move right into those next 2. So I'm going to yarn over and make 2 half double crochet stitches. And on the second one, I'll switch back to the main color. So you can see I've got 3 loops on my hook. I'll yarn over and switch to the new color. It'll be a little easier on the next bobble because I won't have so many ends in the way there. All right, so now I need 4 in between the green ones. So I've got 1, 2, 3, just like that. And on the 4th one, I'll yarn over, insert my hook, draw up a loop, but I will finish the 4th one with the green yarn. Pull that through. All right, so you can see a little easier now how I am ready to start my next 2 half double crochet stitches with the green yarn. So we'll yarn over, make our 2 stitches. You can see this main color yarn I'm carrying, I'm hiding it within the stitch. So you just kind of rest it on top of where you're placing your stitches and that'll hide it inside there. So I've got 1 green half double crochet stitch. I'm gonna make my 2nd one, but I'm gonna finish it off in the main color. All right. And then I'm gonna do 4 half double crochet stitches in the main color. There's 3. On this 4th one, I'll switch to the green. Then I've got 2 more in green. And I will switch back to the main color to finish out the row. I lost the yarn there. All right, so then to finish out this row, you're actually going to do 4 half double crochet stitches just in the main color. All right, so there's 5 to finish out that row. So let me cut my green here. All right, so we had 4 in the main color to start, and then we have 4 in between, but then you have 5 to finish out the row. So that's what the back will look like. And again, I'll have to go weave these ends in, but that's what the back will look like after the first set of pumpkins. And this is what the front will look like. So now the next 2 rows are pretty easy. You'll chain 1 and turn, and then we are just going to use half double crochet stitch and do it across the row. So that'll be 23 stitches, 23 half double crochet stitches across. at the end of that row, you're going to chain 1 and turn and do the same thing back across. Alright, that's the end of that row. So we'll chain 1, turn, and this is what you'll have after that first set of pumpkins and then the 2 half double crochet stitches. So now we are going to add our second row of pumpkins, and in this row you'll have 4 pumpkins instead of 3, so they'll go in between the 3 pumpkins in the first row. So we're going to start with just 2 single crochet stitches in this row. So in my main color, I'm going to make 1, and then on that second one, I'm going to go ahead and switch to my pumpkin color. So I'm not going to finish that second stitch, and I'm going to grab my pumpkin color and tie that on. So we will finish the second single crochet with the pumpkin color yarn and be ready for that bobble. All right, so again, we're going to do 5 double crochet stitches into the next stitch. So yarn over, insert the hook, draw up a loop, yarn over, and draw through just the first 2 loops on your hook. And do that 5 times. After that 5th double crochet, you're going to switch to the main color yarn. So yarn over with the main color and then push that bobble towards you and draw through all 6 loops on the hook. And then we'll put a single crochet stitch into the space next to the bobble, and it should look like this. So you can see it's a little off center to the one that's below it. All right, so we've got 1 single crochet stitch here. We need 4 more, and then we'll do the next bobble. On this 5th stitch, I'm going to start it as I normally would, but I'm going to switch to my pumpkin color. So I've got 5 single crochet stitches between the bobble, and now I'll make my next pumpkin. Alright, to finish this bobble, I'll switch to my main color, push that bobble towards me, and then put a single crochet stitch in. Do 5 in between there. And on the 5th one, draw up the pumpkin color yarn. We'll switch to the main color, then put our 5 single crochet stitches. Got one more pumpkin in this row. This will be our last pumpkin. Got those 6 loops. We'll yarn over in the main color and pull through all 6 of them. And then I've got 2 spaces here left to finish this row, so I'm going to put 2 single crochet stitches to finish it out. It gets a little tight on the end here. So there's the end of the second row of pumpkins. All right, so we'll chain 1 and turn, and we are going to use half double crochet stitch in this round and add our stems with the green yarn. And I think this is one of the trickiest rows for color changes because it's very fast that you have to switch from the main color to the green color. So we are only going to do 1 half double crochet stitch, but it won't even be a complete stitch before you have to switch to the green yarn. So you'll start that half double crochet stitch and then get your green yarn on there so that you can finish. So it's a really quick turnaround. So I'll finish with green. And then since my pumpkin's right here, I'm going to do 2 half double crochet stitches in the green. And on that second one, I'll switch back to my main color. So the rest of the row is just like the one below it. I just think that this color switch right here at the end is so quick that it makes it a little tricky. So we'll switch back to our main color, and just like in the row before, we're going to put 4 half double crochet stitches in between. On that 4th one, you'll start the stitch with the main color, but then finish it with the stem color. Then we'll be ready for our 2 half double crochet stem color stitches and switch back to the main. Do 4 in the main color again. And switch to the green. So once you get the hang of the color switches, it's not too bad. It's just tricky trying to keep track of all of the different colors and switches at first. All right, so this will be our last switch to green in this row. and finish it out in the main color. And you'll only have 2 half double crochet stitches to finish out the main color in this row. So I'll snip this green and show you the front. Here's the back, a little bit messy, but once those ends get weaved in, then you'll just see this running yarn across. All right, so I'll chain 1 and turn here, and then I'm back at the front. So now you've got 2 rows of pumpkins, the first row with 3 pumpkins and the second row with 4 pumpkins. So for the next 2 rows, you're just going to use the main color and half double crochet 23 stitches across. So I'll do these 2 rows, and then the end of the pattern is a repeat of the beginning. So there's 1 row of half double crochet. I'm going to chain 1 and turn, and then do the same thing back across. All right, there's the back after that, those 2 rows, and here's the front. All right, so you've got your 2 rows of pumpkins. So the last row of pumpkins, it is a repeat of the first row of pumpkins. So it should be rows 3 through 6 of the first row, or I'm sorry, of the beginning of the pattern. That's going to repeat for the last portion of the pattern. So I'm not going to show that here since we did it in the first round, but I will show you this finished panel, and you can see what it looks like with all 3 rows of pumpkins. So we had finished up till here, so you're just going to chain 1, turn, and then you'll do the row of pumpkins across the next row. So you can see it's just the 3, they should stack right on top of the 3 in the first round. So I have this one already done, so rather than show you the same thing again, you can see how it looks when it's finished. So that after you finish the front panel, you're going to put edging. You're going to go around and create your own stitches so that you can see this just gives it a much cleaner edge for when we need to join it. So you'll finish over on this side of the panel, and so you're just going to turn and go and work down this edge, across the bottom, up this side, and across the top. And then you can cut your yarn and tie it off for the front panel, so that you have a nice clean edge for when you're going to join your panels together. So you can see here, they'll be joined on this nice clean edge, and then you can go back and add the shell stitches if you want to. You don't have to. They will be joined regardless of the shell stitches, so if you don't want to add those, you don't have to. So the back panel is going to be made exactly the same as the front panel. It's just that you won't have any of the color changes, and you won't use the bobble stitch, obviously, but you'll still keep the same. We want it to be the same sides, so you'll still keep the same pattern of like using single crochet stitches and half double crochet stitches. You just won't have the bobbles. So here's the back of this one. That's what it'll look like. So once you finish the back, then you can move on to joining the two panels together. You're going to want to crochet through both the front and the back panel, and I've got some pictures that show that. And then after you join them together, you'll create the strap and then go back around for the shell stitch if you want to. So so that's it for this tutorial. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out, or you know, let me know if this is helpful, or what other questions you have. Thanks so much.